PS5 logo, a flop or a win? Pokemon Sword and Shield Season Pass, a ripoff? Xbox having no exclusives until 2022? CES 2020, modular PC, and more? This and so much more in the weekly recap with me, your host, Brave Shadow. Let's wiggle right the fuck into this. So at this year's CES, we were greeted with the new logo for the PlayStation 5 with some vague features it will provide. Nothing entirely new on specs, but hey, the logo has set the internet ablaze, trending on Twitter, being the most liked photo on Instagram, and becoming a meme. Now, as the logo for itself, I do believe it's a bit lazy on Sony's part, and I'm wondering if they even tried to aim for a new design or not, though. I will say there was less backlash when they did the same thing when they went from the PS3 to the PS4, as, you know, the kind of font and style originated from the PS3 logo, but I digress. Now, with more PlayStation 5 news, a new controller and PS5 console dev leak, and this one is kind of funny. Not sure if it's the right place, but ... My first cleaning of prototype 1 of PS5. Yes, my job is a cleaner. Occasionally at you ... fucking a fuck ton of dots. Please do not share this. Says the fucking person who is sharing it on Facebook. I don't know, man. People, right? Now, just looking at this, we have seen the dev kit of the PS5 before, but not the controller, which that by first glance is my biggest thing, because right off the bat, I notice this baby is thick as fuck, which I like. Because if the controller can be bigger, that's awesome. I love a nice meaty controller. That's why the Xbox controllers are so fucking nice, because they're big, they fit, it works well. Now, another thing to notice on this DualShock 5 controller is the simple fact that the touchpad is actually a lot bigger than what we've seen previously with the DualShock 4. So I don't know if that's going to be something that actually continues and stays with the console or what, but hey, that's kind of cool. Now, granted, in previous leaks and previous, conversations about this controller, supposedly the haptic feedback is really nice. So that's just going to be another thing to look forward to. But in reality, there's so much we know, but there's even more that we don't know. Now, when it comes to that, there was an interview with the PlayStation boss, Jim Ryan, and saying that basically the biggest features have been yet to be disclosed to the public. Like, thanks for the blue balls, dude. Well, we have Phil Spencer and the Xbox team giving us specs, appearance, even launches of games, while us on the PlayStation side have been left with nothing but logos and leaks. Now, speaking of leaks, one of the leakers of, these next-gen consoles basically has been saying a lot of the stuff releasing, like the 9.5 teraflops for the PS5, is actually off base and nowhere near where it's actually supposed to be. So that's good, but it also makes you think, like, shit, if that's the case, you can't really trust any information online. But luckily, that's why you have me. I sift and I dig and I find the shit so you can be well informed. On the Xbox side of things, we have Xbox's Matt Booty, and the next-gen exclusive model we have become familiar with for a more PC-centric approach. As stated in an interview with Seth Barton on MCVUK.com, that I really kind of grabbed to was all our games will play up and down the family of devices, meaning that if you are not fortunate enough to go get that new Xbox when it comes out holiday season of 2020, you can essentially be like, you know what, it's cool, it's whatever, and go ahead and buy Halo, the new Halo, for your current gen console or for your current gen PC. This is really interesting because it says a lot about Microsoft's approach to gaming now and really trying not to exclude their own player base, which is really great. But also in the same breath, if you're going to sit here and create this next gen console, what's the point if you're going to release it on everything? Because you need something to entice these players to kind of go in that direction, because, if your next gen console is not, at least more affordable and logically makes sense versus like building a PC, which is something we will actually touch base on, then what's the point, right? Like, why even waste my time? But I digress. Now, if you're curious about this story or any other news that I've been talking about, I will leave links to everything in the description for further reading. New League of Legends season starts, and a new trailer to show it off looks amazing. I highly recommend you check it out. Riot's cinematics and music never fail to get me hyped. Pokemon Sword and Shield has been no stranger to controversy, as the game has used animation assets from previous games, cut the amount of obtainable Pokemon significantly, and anyone following will also know that they've been nickeling and diming the Pokemon fanbase. Now, this trend continues with the new season passes. Now, getting straight into this, the first season pass, granted, this season pass does not cover both expansions, only one. So that means for $30, you gotta buy one, and then another $30, you gotta buy the other one. And even the content in these are pretty lacking, as you'll receive up to 100 new Pokemon to catch from previous installments of the franchise, new explorable area, a cool looking Slowpoke, some more Pokemon that grow bigger, and 2 new legendaries. And that's just the first one. Now, note, if you do not purchase the DLC, you can obtain these Pokemon through local trade with a friend. Also, both versions will not have the same 100 Pokemon. So not only do you have to buy each Pokemon game, this is if you don't have friends, and I really hope you have friends, because it's going to cost you dearly in this situation. So you buy both versions of the game, both versions of the DLC twice, just so you have a chance to obtain everything that Game Freak has basically ported over, or basically gave a new skin, which, to be honest, it's a bit much. It's a bit fucked, But honestly, this is a drop in a bucket compared to the amount of shit that people have been dealing with Fallout 76, but that's another story. But now, if you want to bring your previous Pokemon from older games and to this new Pokemon game, you'll be introduced to the Pokemon Home new subscription cloud service. So yeah, altogether, you're going to be spending a pretty penny just to use what you already have obtained, already have trained, and spent time with. So honestly, let me know your thoughts down below, because as somebody on the outside looking in, as I don't play Pokemon that frequently, this seems kind of fucked. And I just want to know, somebody who's a big Pokemon fan, or at least a casual fan who has the game right now, what do you think about this? Please let me know in the comments down below. Remember how I was talking about building PCs and, the Xbox earlier? This is where that comes in. Now, Razer has something called the Tomahawk, which is making PC building simple. This modular PC with case, which can be altered and upgraded with ease and less hassle of traditional building. Now, what I really love most is that there's no compromise on power with this setup, and it may be something that I might actually look into myself. Now, the case that was on display was loaded with an Intel Core i9 CPU, NVIDIA RTX 2080, a basic power supply, and RAM storage up to 64 gigabytes. Damn! Finally, something to keep an eye out for me, because I'm actually trying to build a PC myself. And anybody else who wants to, get Halo Infinite on their PC, boom, that's great. And it, for the most part, might be something that's quite affordable. Now, based off of those, I don't know. So now, another thing to come out of CES is the Alienware Ufo Concept. Now, this is another bit of tech to keep your eye on. Now, bring the portability that we've seen in the Switch to PC gaming, and that's pretty much what it is. To say the least, this is pretty fucking amazing. It looks modern, sleek, and it can handle a workload, as it's claimed to run games at 4K at 60 frames. Though, until we get a consumer version of this, it's really hard to say what it is, as we have seen mobile gaming trying to kind of enter its way into PC gaming, kind of like cross-section, but it hasn't really taken off that well. So, free games for January when it comes to your Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. So, starting off with the Xbox Game Pass, you got Frostpunk, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, Tekken 7. Now, those last two are pretty solid games. Now, for the PlayStation Plus games of January, you got Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection. So, for those who have been living on a rock and don't know who Nathan Drake is, this is the perfect time to find out. Basically, he's like Indiana Jones in video game form. There you go. it's pretty fucking cool. It's a great franchise, and I still have yet to complete the last one, as Destiny has been taking up so much of my life. Now, the next game for the PlayStation Plus games of January is the Goat Simulator. Do I need to say more? Be a goat. But I will say I might do a video on this because I haven't played this game. I've seen people play it. Definitely want to check it out. Now, last bit of news is something that's not really big, but it's something that I noticed and I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. So, Dreams. Now, if you don't know what this game is, it's basically a game made by the creators of Little Big Planet where you can pretty much create a lot of little cool levels and stuff like that, and you run around as a little sack man. Now, Dreams is like the fucking next level. They said, you know what, fuck it, we want you to create whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, just create it. Now, with all the talks of, you know, Xbox Series X, you know, powering your dreams. Now, if you have access to this pre-built version of the game, Dreams, you've kind of already been doing that for some time. Now, as I've been chilling on Twitter, I've seen some creative uses. I highly suggest you check it out. Is this breakfast setup created by John Beach and this snooker game created by Tannic Alloy on this game will leave you breathless. I will leave their Twitters in the description as well, so you can check them out and follow them because they deserve it. They're pretty fucking cool. Now, you know, first video of the decade of the new year. So, yeah, it's been a process. So, thank you guys for hanging on throughout the entirety of this video. I really appreciate it. I would even more so appreciate it if you left a like for me, left a comment below telling me, hey, did I miss this, you know, bit of news, you know, or hey, you know, you could do this better. Just leave all constructive criticisms, you know, your thoughts on the news that was provided, and fucking whatever the fuck. You could just be like, yo, what's up? And I'll throw a comment back at you and be like, yo, what's up? But regardless, be great to yourself, be great to those around you, and play great games. That's all I can ask. All right, I am signing off. See you guys later.